And welcome into the Rob and Kale podcast. I'm Rob Sanders. Thanks for joining us this evening. We have a cool show planned for you. I called a late audible. We'll talk about that in a second. Welcome in my podcast co-host. He is the #1 Gamecock YouTuber on the planet, Mr. Carolina Jackpot, Kale Hall, coming to us from the Big L.
The Big L. What's up,
there you
guys?
Go. Yeah. All right. Well, so here's the audible that I called. We were going to talk about an article on 247 Sports about the biggest revenge games of the year. But you know what? I thought that maybe tonight we could take a little step back in time, just a little bit. And we could look at some of the years gone past. And we could talk about something that is interesting to me because there's been a lot of great ones. What I mean by that is, who do you think are the top running backs in SEC history? Now, the SEC goes back a long way. And we can go team by team and talk about some of the great running backs from every team. But we're going to get into that in a moment. But I thought it might be nice to have a little retro Wednesday there, Jackpot. That's pretty fun, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Tried to pin it. Daniel Gregory already over here salty as fuck. GBO, hush, we own you. I mean, what? we haven't even talked shit to them yet. It's like already going on the defensive. I mean,
now see, we give Peg and Megan grief, but that is a top 5 comment right there. Tim Tebow is a top 10 running back. Very good, sir. Very good. That's pretty good. All right, anyway. So we'll get into that in a moment. Let's thank our sponsors, Callaway's Bar and Grill out in West Columbia.
Daniel said, oh, not you, Jackpot, Bluegrass Media, bitch ass. Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Carry on.
Carry on then. Carry on. Anyway. So we'll talk about that in a moment, but let's thank our sponsors, Callaway's Bar and Grill out in West Columbia. Highway 1 diagonal from the Walmart. Go by, get yourself some retro video games, drink some cold beer. Great food, great people at Callaway's. Callaway'sBarandGrill.com. Also, Story Time with Uncle Jackpot, brought to you by DNC Trucking and Transport. Dennis Wilson, by the way, watching online, says, quote, my circumcision is better than yours. Okay, Dennis, thank you for sharing that. Story Time with Uncle Jackpot here, brought to you by DNC Trucking and Transport.
Yeah, they circumcised him. It was a short job.
Oh, Jesus. Badmouth our sponsor.
Pretty
Holy
quick.
Shit.
Anyway, it sucks to be a Gamecock. We are truly Clemson wannabes. We continue to add Clemson baseball players to the mix by the truckload. Searching to be relevant. We are truly a shithole. It sucks to be a Gamecock. Go Tigers.
Yeah, by the way, South Carolina has 2 national championship trophies in, what is it? It's, I'm trying to think.
They have 2 more than Clemson does.
You're exactly right. And you know what? No one gives a shit because right now you're getting Clemson rejects to come there and play baseball for you.
No, what we're doing, it's kind of like, like Nick Saban picks up those shitty coaches as like and has like the coaching rehabilitation program for people like Butch Jones and Bill O'Brien and Steve Sarkisian and folks like that. That's what we do at the Mecca.
Are you still calling
these Clemson?
God damn
we're rehabilitating these poor Clemson individuals. They'll all be hitting 300 this time next year. So you know.
Dennis says he needs a little more emotion from you, sir. Just a little more. Just a little more. I mean, just saying. Anyway, so let's talk about these SEC running backs. And Jackpot, when you think SEC running back, what's the first one that comes to your mind?
Mike Davis. Wow, shit. Probably Herschel Walker.
You know, the first one that comes to my mind, I mean, Herschel Walker's right there, and I'm not trying to piss off you Georgia fans, but I think Bo Jackson.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't really go wrong with Bo Jackson at Auburn, right? I mean, that's a pretty solid one there, and I'm gonna Jackpot. I need you to cover your ears for just a second, like if you were a kid and I was gonna say some curse words, because the name I'm gonna say right now may hurt your feelings. All right. Darren McFadden. Okay, go ahead, Jackpot.
Yeah.
Glenn says George Rogers. That's pretty good. Mr. Boogie says Marcus Lattimore.
He didn't compete in the SEC, though.
That's a very valid point. They were an independent at the time, but Marcus Lattimore is probably the best Gamecock running back of the SEC era. I would venture to say Mike Davis is probably right there at number 2, but you got to look at Demetrius Summers, too. Demetrius Summers was a hell of a running back for South Carolina.
Yeah,
he just couldn't keep his shit together.
He didn't realize his potential. Neither did Derek Watson.
Derek Watson, that's another one.
Derrick Henry was a beast at Alabama. More recent ones I'm trying to think of. Shit. So, yeah.
Yeah, well, some of the other names that the name that will not be spoken because it may send Jackpot into a tizzy. You got to look at Herschel Walker. You got to look at Bo Jackson. I looked up something on Bo Jackson earlier. There was an interesting stat. Hold on just a second here. He holds the SEC record with, at the time of this piece was written, at 6.62 yards per carry for his career. So think about that. Every time he touched the ball, he was getting 6+ yards a carry at Auburn. That is pretty damn solid, sir. Pretty damn solid. LSU fans may say Marshall Faulk or Kevin Faulk. I'm sorry. I'm going to say Marshall Faulk. Kevin Faulk, who played in the mid 90s there. He was a hell of a running back as well. Right there in the mix.
Fournette, more recently too. Also too.
Brock says, did Demetrius Summers pass away? I don't know about that. So I don't want to put something out there that may or may not be true. Emmitt Smith at Florida. Yeah, you're definitely there too. He was a solid running back as well. Peg and Megan says, Emmitt Smith hit on my girlfriend while he was at Florida. She had no idea who he was and told him to go to hell. True story. Huh. I can buy that. Thomas says Leonard Fournette. Yeah, I can get into that too. But in the end, though, on Twitter, folks following us at Rob Sounds Good, Hog Crazy says, LOL Gurley and not even mention McFadden. You're drunk. Sir, I did mention McFadden. Try to pay attention, sir. We just don't say that because Jackpot, the last time that was mentioned was Jackpot damn near had a stroke, and I didn't want to do that to my friend this evening. So calm
Felix
down,
Jones and Darren McFadden.
Yeah,
Eric Schweiman, Travis Stevens, Travis Henry. Who?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, we're not even talking about the Alabama running backs, Mark Ingram, and guys like that were just.
What was the other
really,
guy's
really
name? Trent Richardson.
Yeah. I mean, he was good. There, an Alabama running back that's name sticks in my head. And if he didn't break his leg in the championship game, Clemson wouldn't have won that national title. Was Bo Scarborough. Scarborough was a hell of a running back, and Clemson fans get pissed when I say that. But if he didn't break his leg, and I think it was the second quarter of the championship game, the year they won it with Watson, Clemson may not have won that game, and I stand behind that because Scarborough was eating them up at the line of scrimmage. I mean, he was running through 2 and 3 tackles at a time. So
Bluegrass Sports Media, of course, mentions my friend Benny Snell.
Benny Snell. Fuck Benny Snell.
Fuck that guy.
Yeah. Eric's got a good one with Derrick Henry. Yeah, you can definitely get into that one too.
I already mentioned that, but yeah.
The comrade says it's why that national title has an asterisk next to it. Just shut up, comrade. You don't get to talk about national titles with asterisks next to them. I don't want to hear your shit. Just saying. Jamal
Eric
Lewis is
Brown
another good
says
one, too.
Alvin Kamara when Lyle chose to play him.
Yeah, I guess I can get into that, too.
What was that guy's name? Jalen Turd. It was Jalen Hurd, but I call him Jalen Turd. The one that was like riding on the stationary bicycle at the game against South Carolina, and he wouldn't go in the fucking game when Lyle told him to get in there, and like he quit the next week or something.
Yeah. I think you got to put Todd Gurley in the mix. Would you agree? As a top 10 running back in the SEC all time, I think he's right there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
it's strange. Old Vamir Zeus, is he back again this year, or is he gone?
I think he graduated. Georgia fans, help me out with that in the chat room.
He never did. He never did amount to much. He was always injured. Unfortunately, he was a beast in high school. Cadillac Williams.
Pagan says he's gone. Brock with another quote of the night. Chris Rodriguez, the dude is fast on and off the field. Just ask the cops.
Cadillac Williams. Do you remember a young man who played for South Carolina that then transferred to Auburn and ended up doing a pretty good job there named Kenny Irons?
Kenny Irons is a hell of a running back, too. Played pretty well, yeah.
Do you remember a young man that was the third all-time leading rusher at Kentucky, played from 93 to 95, Mo Williams?
Mo Williams was good, too. Mo Williams was good.
1,600 yards in 1995.
I didn't know he had that many. Holy shit. That's impressive.
Yeah, I just looked that up before the show because I knew he ran all over the Gamecocks. No Sean Marino. I forgot about him.
Yeah. That's Marino was pretty good too. Let's look at some other running backs here. Sean Alexander, Alabama running back that was really, really good.
Who's all time? Who would have to be the all-time best running back from Vanderbilt?
Well, let's you know what? I'll Google that really quick here. I don't think the only Vanderbilt player that I can really remember off the top of my head is Jay Cutler, and that's because Cutler was an asshole.
Well, they had a good running back a few years ago. What was his name? Somebody will know. Keyshawn Vaughn.
Yeah, that's it. He was like 5'7", I think. 5'7", 137 pounds, but was strong as an ox. I'm not knocking the guy. The guy was playing behind probably the worst offensive line in the SEC and still managed to get 1,000 yards. So, all right. So, Vanderbilt's all-time leading rusher is Ralph Webb from 2017.
Yeah.
And he ran for 4,100 plus yards.
Yeah.
He's sick. Holy shit. He's number 6 all-time in total rushing yards in the conference.
Yeah, I remember him. I knew he was good.
Think about that. But to tell you how crazy this is, he only made All-SEC second team one time. That was in 2016, but ended up finishing.
I mean, it's all about the name on the jersey.
You think it's name on the jersey and it's not production on the field? I mean, because if we're going with just numbers on the field and we have to bow down to the mighty SEC schedule, then he's got to be a top 10 back, being that he's got in the top 6 as far as rushing goes, right?
Oh, yeah, you would think.
Yeah, I don't know. That's an interesting look there. I don't know where Ralph Webb went to.
What about Deuce McAllister?
From Ole Miss? Yeah, he could be in the mix too. A lot of these other running backs, I've never heard of him. Zach Stacy, I remember him as from 29.
Vanderbilt.
Yeah, I was looking at their, and then of course Keyshawn Vaughn.
Twyman remembers him. Their team probably lost to him.
Yeah, Keyshawn Vaughn probably. You know what I remember about Robert Edwards was the knee injury he suffered in that crazy flag football game where he was doing some kind of beach volleyball or beach game or something and just destroyed his knee. So, yeah. So, yeah, I remember him. Anyway, we can let's take some of your calls on this. I'm going to open up the phones, 803-470-2905. If you have a running back that you think is worthy of being in the top 10, go ahead and submit those by calling us on the program.
What about
here.
Larry Roundtree III?
You know, I like him a lot, but
Henry Josie.
See, you're just being a fucko and throwing names at me and making me think here. And I'm fine with that. But it's hard. I like Roundtree, but to say that he is a top 10 running back all time in the SEC is a little bit far-fetched in my opinion.
What was that kid's name for Auburn that ran for a fuck ton of yards against them in that SEC championship game?
I don't know. How long ago was this?
2013.
Yeah, hold on. I'm trying to remember. I don't remember, to be completely honest with you. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I can't remember. But I can tell you that the two names that I think are unequivocally in the top, actually three names, I think you have to go with obviously Herschel Walker and Bo Jackson, and then Darren McFadden's got to be in there in the top three. And then, it gets kind of hard to Ronnie Brown. That may be right there. Peg and Megan may be right on that. But it's kind of hard to go back and look at running backs from different eras because, the offenses were different, But Herschel Walker could take over a game. Same thing with Bo Jackson. Averaged almost 7 yards a carry. Holy shit with all that. That's insane. Anyway, so we agree that those three should be in the top 10. Do we put Emmitt Smith in the top 10?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so Emmitt Smith, so that's 4. So, all right, so after that, we look at, do we put Kevin Falk, who was at LSU, rushed for almost 4,600 yards and 46 touchdowns. He's got to be in the top 10, right?
Yep.
Yeah. And then Todd Gurley.
Okay. Trey Mason was that kid's name.
Oh, okay.
He wasn't. He had a good season. I don't think he was.
Bluegrass Sports Media says it's Benny Snell. Didn't we already tell him to fuck off with Benny Snell? He just doesn't listen. I don't know what his problem is. I think Falk has to be in the mix, and I agree with Peg and Megan on that. And then with Gurley, that gives us 6. That means we got 4 more spots, and we've got tons of other running backs to look at here.
Has Mississippi State ever produced a decent?
I don't know. We have to let me look through this. Hold on a second here, and we'll get back to that.
I can't really think of anybody. I'm just trying to think of teams here that we haven't really talked about.
Well, and you've got all of the Alabama running backs that are Mark Ingram and Richardson and Sean Alexander. Anthony Dixon. That's the Mississippi State running back. He ran for, let's see here, finished right at 4,000 yards for his career, 42 touchdowns, both school records. So,
and when did he play?
He played, let's see here, 2006 to 2009.
Well, fuck it. Put him in there.
So you're putting him in the top 10 of all time. Okay.
I would think so. Wouldn't he have also been coached by Shane Beamer?
And was Beamer there from 06 to 09? I thought he was with South Carolina then.
No, I think he was maybe earlier in his career there. Yep. I'm sure he was. So that would definitely, boost him up a little bit.
All right, so an interesting name to think about is Eric Rhett who rushed
Yeah,
for
Florida.
well, he rushed for almost 4,200 yards, but had almost 5,400 all-purpose yards. So, I mean, do you put the all-purpose back in there too? That's kind of interesting too when you really stop and think about it.
Yeah.
All right, so we're running out of top 10 spots here, Jackpot. To be honest
Yep.
with you, but
Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb. You would have to kind of consider him to be in there just because. I mean, good Lord. I mean, look what he came back from.
mm-hmm.
You ever seen the picture of when he hyperextended his fucking knee? I mean, good God. It's just
Yeah, that
gruesome.
was. God, I don't. You're making my head. Ugh.
Glenn Scott said 2007 is when Beamer went to South Carolina. Yep, that's when the magic began.
Jesus, I don't even. I mean, you guys are so in love with Shane Beamer. He better.
You know it. Yeah, no, it's true.
I mean, you're almost at the same level the Comrade was with Will Muschamp. I mean, if that turns out to be a shit show, you're gonna moonwalk that back like.
I think at one time the Comrade would have made sweet love to Will Muschamp.
He probably still would if you ask him to. You just buy him a drink. $20 is $20. I mean,
what happens?
Shit.
What happens in Blythewood stays in Blythewood.
Exactly. All right. So if you want to get in on the running back discussion there, 803-470-2905, 803-470-2905. And Jackpot, while we're looking at that, 247 Sports put out the biggest revenge games of the season. You know, number one on the list is, of course, October the 8th with Texas A&M and Alabama. And it's going to be funny because there's going to be a shit ton of hype. I don't know all the other games that are going to be played.
Is there going to be more hype about, it being a revenge game spot, or is it going to be more hype around these two acting like a couple of petulant babies?
Well, yeah, I mean, you've got two multi-million-dollar coaches, and one of them with, if they decided to, I read something earlier today that if Texas A&M decided, you know what, we don't want Jimbo Fisher here. We bitched about Will Muschamp's buyout at, $17 million? If they fire that imbecile at the end of the season, they have to pay him $85 million.
Oh, my God.
I'm serious. That's why it's like everybody's like, oh, well, you know, if they go 7-5, he's going to be on the hot. Nope, he's not going to be on the hot. He could go 0-12, and they got to look at it from this perspective of we got to give him $85 million. It's almost $86 million. To get it under $50 million for his buyout, they have to wait until 2026. So good luck there, A&M fans. Guy that can't win you the West. Guy that can't win you the West is you're paying him almost $86 million to go away. Holy shit with all that. Jetmec says, but A&M insists they're rich. But no, I think the big thing with that's going to be those two going back and forth with each other. And it's going to be like, I guess the best way to put it would be like, and my wife would do this to me. She would call me up and be like, you know what? We're going to have like some hot dogs and some good old fashioned Southern food at the house. And then I get here and I'm like on the way home and I'm thinking, man, I can't wait to have a nice chili dog. I get here and it's one of those fake ass hot dogs and made out of fucking carrots. And then, you never seen the thing about hot dogs made out of carrots? I'm not joking. I can show you the video.
Not a hot dog, that's a not dog.
It's a not dog. Well, that's what it would be. My wife making me thinking I'm getting some good food and then ended up with that bullshit. Let's go out to the phones.
Texas A&M, Mr. Boogie said they got the big oil money. But, okay, well, big oil is so damn prevalent, and why the fuck is my gas so damn expensive?
That's a good point, Jackpot. We should blame Texas A&M for the gas prices. They're jacking up those oil prices so where our oil's higher. That's the problem. Welcome into the program. Good evening. No, we weren't blaming Jimbo. We were blaming the oil money, not Jimbo.
I can't hear the caller.
You can't hear the caller, Jackpot. All right, hold on. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Yeah.
No one can hear him.
Yeah. Go ahead, caller. Mm-hmm.
Okay, guys, what
Right.
he's basically talking about right now is
yeah. Hold on 1 second. I've got to adjust something here. Sorry about that. Give me 1 second there, caller. Let me fix something. All right. But he's talking about the he's talking about. Hold on. I'm gonna adjust something here, Jackpot. Give me 1 second here, buddy. Let me change the settings here for just a second. Oh, well, that's part of the problem.
if Tony Schiavone were producing, this wouldn't be happening right now.
Yeah, I know, right? All right, caller, go ahead.
All right, any better? Can you hear me?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, there we go.
There we go. All right, so
put it back on silent.
silent. Be nice. Holy shit. Go ahead, caller.
I just want to remind you guys, a few years back when Ole Miss actually beat Alabama, what were we saying all offseason that was a revenge game, and what happened? Ole Miss turned around and beat them again. Am I not mistaken? Didn't they win 2 years in a row?
Mm-hmm.
I think so.
Yeah. So
what? But are we talking about the Ole Miss game where Chad, I like to beat up Beauty Queens Kelly was out there throwing the ball around? Is that the one you're talking about? That set of games?
yeah, but that bitch had it coming. By the way, I don't blame him for that.
Oh shit!
But
Wait.
no, I'm telling you. I'm telling you, A&M is going to put it on Alabama. They're going to get so sick and tired of hearing about everybody telling them how Alabama's going to kill them. But I think Jimbo's going to finally take the West and probably take it for the next few years, actually. But on that list of revenge games was Clemson NC State. Was Clemson NC State on there or?
Yeah.
I haven't looked at
It's number 4.
Yeah, it's number 4 on the list. Clemson NC State. Look, and I
Wow.
know that you grew up as an SEC guy, but this was the Textile Bowl is what it was called, and I mean it was like the equivalent. And I'm not saying that they're on the same level as you guys, but on Clemson's schedule, this used to be the same kind of rivalry that you guys had with where Georgia played Auburn every year. But with Clemson, It was with NC State, and it was the Textile Bowl, and it used to be some pretty bitter games between those two teams. So,
I'll have to take your word for that, Rob.
Sure, I don't expect you to watch.
Yeah,
you can't leave SEC circle jerk to watch. That'll take. You're the pivot man. You got to be rainbow and both sides. You can't be watching any other football. I understand that.
Hey, you brought up Eric Red on that list of names, and he's not a top 5 guy, but a lot of your audience is going to be too young to know who that was. You hear people say all the time, "Oh, they get stronger as the game goes on." That guy was the epitome of a running back that no one wanted to hit in the fourth quarter, and just time after time after time, whenever the old fun and gun wasn't working. Eric Rett would just take over a ball game. He had a kind of an ugly style, but no one wanted to hit him in the fourth quarter. So I was kind of surprised anyone brought his name up, but he was that good. He really was.
All-purpose yardage too. I mean, he could catch the ball too. He was an early guy on that front where he caught passes out in the flat, etc. So one of those guys too.
And you know me, I don't hand out compliments to Gators ever, but he was that good. He really was.
Rob, do you remember a game? Do you remember a game in Willie B in the early days of South Carolina being in the SEC? Must have been about 93-ish. And South Carolina, yeah, I think it may have been. And South Carolina jumped all over Florida early in that game. We were up on them like 21-3 in the first quarter or something. This was one of the Steve Spurrier teams, and then like Eric Rett was on that team. And then the second half, I mean, they just absolutely just took over and just demolished us. And it was like 40-something to 24, I think. We scored like 3 more points.
He had 3 touchdowns in the third quarter. That's what I remember that stat. He had 3 touchdowns in the third quarter, and all of you motherfuckers down there, shut up real quick.
I think the quarterback was Nappy Doug Out Johnson.
Maybe.
Shane Matthews.
Yeah, 93 was just before Doug Johnson's time. I don't think he would have quite been there yet. But the other name is obviously.
Maybe it was Shane Matthews. I don't know.
We all could have seen what he really could have done
without repeat that. Your cell dropped there for a second. Repeat that call for me one time. Who was it? You said
the other name is Marcus Lattimore. I think
yeah.
Anybody who's just a college football fan feels like we all just got robbed with that guy. And of course, no one got robbed as bad as he did, but we all wanted to see what he could do because the potential was just through the roof. And obviously injuries just ruined his career. It was kind of sad.
And as far as being a person, in addition to being a great running back, he was a great person, came from made great grades. I mean, he was literally what's the term? He was everybody's All-American. That's the best way to look at it. I mean, and he was the poster boy for South Carolina football, and he stepped into it coming out of I think he went to Burns High School is where he went. Am I right about that? Yeah, he went from Burns in the upstate, came down here, and filled that role quick and was just. I remember the game where the Gamecocks won the East, where I think he had how many carries did he have in that Florida game, Jack? But it had to be 30, right? 30 plus.
It was a lot. Yeah.
I mean, Steve was like, you know what? Fuck you. I'm not throwing the ball. We're just going to keep giving the ball to him. And he just.
I don't even think that was necessary to beat that Florida team because they were dumpster fire.
Yeah, but you had to have that game though to go to the championship game. So.
Well, Jack Fox, you may know. What is he up to now? What's he doing?
Didn't he move? Rob, didn't he move to like Washington or something?
Yeah, he's out. He worked for
Oregon
at a private school here, and then he was on the Gamecock staff for a bit. I think he was doing like player development or something, and then he's out in Oregon doing something now. But
really,
yeah, I mean that's a guy that'll never pay for a drink in Columbia ever.
Yeah.
So
he probably ain't gonna drink. He probably ain't gonna drink alcohol.
He don't have to pay. I tell you what, he won't pay for a steak dinner. That's I guarantee you that. So
yeah,
but yeah, he was great. You're right about that there, Craig and Megan.
Yeah, just kind of sad, just wasted potential. Not obviously nothing to do with life choices, just strictly injury wise. It's terrible. But
yeah.
All right, guys, enjoy the show.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you. All right, 803-470.
Glenn Scott over the chat room said he does a podcast with Mike Uva.
Yeah, Uva's a good guy too, man. But Uva gets some good stuff together.
The first time I ever saw him, I was like, okay. I was like, why are we with somebody from Virginia?
Yeah. He's from Massachusetts. Welcome into the program. Good evening.
How's it going, y'all? Bluegrass Sports Media.
If you're calling, sir, to put over Benny Snell, I just don't want to hear it. We already told you. I mean,
no. I mean, I don't have to put over Benny Snell. Benny Snell done run over the whole South Carolina defense.
He's
already don't run over anybody. We didn't tackle very well that day.
Yeah, it was nothing that he did. Nothing he did.
Yeah. I think you guys are. think you're
What'd
missing
you say?
Smash Williams and Tim Riggins.
Yeah. I don't know much about them
I don't.
when I really stop and think about it.
What?
He's talking about Smash. He
Smash
said
Williams
Smash
and Tim
Williams
Riggins.
and Tim Riggins. What do you think of those?
Didn't he play for the Redskins?
Probably. You can't call them the Redskins anymore, Jackpot. They're what are they? The Commanders?
I ain't fucking fuck that. No. The Commandos. Commando means you're not wearing any fucking underwear, and I'm not doing that.
No, they're Commanders, not Commandos. What the hell?
I don't know. Somebody drives around Greenville with a pickup truck and the whole back glass, so it's tinted in. They got a big sticker back there that says something about Redskins forever.
What the hell's that? I mean, they got like a George W. Bush fucking bumper sticker on the car too. Holy shit!
I don't know.
An old mix. I don't know.
Kind of odd to see around Greenville, South Carolina. To be honest with you, I mean,
actually, there was research that's been done that before the Carolina Panthers came to Charlotte, the number one team as far as fan base goes in the state was the Washington Redskins, and the Falcons were behind them as far
well,
as.
you know why? It probably was. I pulled for the Redskins for a little while because that's where George Rogers played at.
Yeah, I could buy that. That would make sense.
Yeah.
All right. Are you
Actually? I mean, other than Atlanta too, it's probably the closest. The closest distance wise to the upstate, to be honest with you, at the time, because the Tennessee Titans weren't a thing, neither were the Jacksonville Jaguars.
In the Baltimore, and at one point Baltimore was in Cleveland,
Indianapolis.
Yeah, so we got
and no, Baltimore was the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah,
the Cleveland Browns we have now are an expansion team.
That's right.
Yeah.
But when you think about it, there may be a lot of that because of the way the TV stuff was set up. You got those Redskins games because that's who you were zoned for. So you probably got to watch them every week, sort of like everybody gets the Panthers now. Which, by the way, do better, NFL. No one wants to watch those motherfuckers. They're sorry.
I used to, the Falcons, when I was growing up, the Falcons blew ass.
Yeah.
I mean, they were straight cheeks.
Always on ass.
Billy has a question for the caller. Ask him, who is Kentucky's revenge game? Oh, that's easy. Here's a layup. Who's your revenge game this season, sir?
Georgia.
That would be a great answer if I could give you that one. If I could say Georgia,
it's Georgia. They're going to finally beat them. Yeah, right.
There's printed T-shirts they scored on Georgia. I don't want to hear any shit from Kentucky fans on that.
But no. Can someone ask Billy when Cardinal Tate signed his letter of intent for Tennessee?
What? You just ask him. I mean, that's how it works. He can hear everything you said. You don't have to talk through me, man.
Yeah. So, say, hey, Billy.
Yeah.
Right.
Hey. Yeah, exactly. Anyway, and also, can I ask football program to stop driving up all these rates for the NIL for all these kids? So that's what's going on, Rob. Tennessee is taking all these kids.
Hold on. Let me make sure that I understand something. You're upset over NIL money because Kentucky, your fan base, wants all the NIL money to go to basketball players because that's the sport you care about or your fan base cares about. And you're upset that Tennessee's spending more in NIL money? Is that what you're telling me?
No. Listen. Here's all I'm saying. You know, when you go through a breakup and you find a girl to
are you
go out with
giving
in the
me
meantime.
relationship advice? My wife's sitting right here. I got a wife. I don't have to break up with anybody. What the fuck are you talking about, man?
Anyway, from people who have.
I'm not listening to relationship advice. I'm not going to do it. You got to get to the point, my friend. Okay, go.
Okay, so the point is, Tennessee is the girl that you use to get the girl you want, to make her jealous. That's what's going on right now. Tennessee, all these top recruits are using Tennessee to get more money from other schools.
How do you figure that? How does that logic work? So they're basically
Because
going to
Cardinal,
Tennessee and they're telling. So what you're saying is that Tennessee's they're going there and getting big offers, and then they go to other schools and say, "Well, Tennessee offered me this." Is that what you're saying?
yep,
So
that's
they're a
exactly what's going on.
stepping stone.
Jesus Christ.
Yes, they're a stepping stone. They're like the offer you get from another job to go back to your current employer to get a raise. Because that's
Mr.
exactly
Boogie
what happened with
says,
Cardinal Tate.
you want to know the crazy thing about all this? We talk about all these recruits and stuff, and in reality, we don't really know if they're going to be really, really good or not. Yes, there is a correlation to having 4 and 5 star players, and that's important. But the reality is, you could have some 4 and 5 star guys that come to campus, and they may not be worth a flying fuck. Seriously.
I know
Jackpot's
one.
got a couple on his team right now.
Big
Uyunglele is one up in Clemson too. Yeah, he had one little bit. This motherfucker is sucked so bad that and he was literally Walter Smith. Their rankings had him listed as a top 5 draft pick, and this guy is hitting cheerleaders on the sidelines. So, that's the funny part. Oh, well, they're getting more NIL money, and these kids may be taking y'all to the damn cleaners. Seriously.
It definitely could be, but like you said, it's you like baseball, right?
Of course.
So think of it this way: the more 4 and 5 stars you have, it's like the more at bats you have.
I'm not saying that
you're
you don't
eventually going
need
to hit one out of the park.
those type of players, but I'm just saying it's hard. Hunter Johnson, Brock with another great quote. Hunter Johnson's in the mix too. Dabo Sweeney said that he's going to be an NFL quarterback. Fuck, file that away, Dabo. Jesus. File that
Put
away
that
with
on Dabo's bookcase of accountability.
Yeah, the Deshaun Watson comments about Deshaun's family and Deshaun's what we want people to think of when they think of Clemson. No, you don't want that shit. You don't want any of that shit. Guy's getting happy endings according to his damn lawyer and paying for it.
Well, we could get into the quarterbacks at Clemson all we want. Because from my perspective, I don't think Trevor Lawrence got any better from his freshman year to his senior or junior year.
Well, he's the number 1 pick in the draft, so your opinion means jack shit. We could talk about Burks.
Yeah, but he would have been the number 1 pick coming out as a freshman.
Well, Zach Smith over on the Ohio State podcast says the same thing.
He's number 1 pick in the draft.
And then you're gonna say Deshaun Watson. He's pretty much ready to go prospect too. Now that you have a guy you have to develop in DJ Uyunglele, he looks like a complete shit.
Actually, sir, respectfully, Watson was a 4-star player who couldn't get Georgia to offer him until late. So don't talk what you don't know there, my friend.
Yeah, well, that was the boy Mark Richt back then. He didn't know what the fuck he was doing.
He was a 4-star player. He wasn't as highly touted as Trevor Lawrence was. He was highly thought of, but he wasn't thought to be a first-round pick. Deshaun Watson, go back and look at the first game that he had against Georgia, where he threw that rope to Sharon Peak. He's 6'3" and he weighed about $165. He looked like we needed to staple about 8 rounds of pork chops on him so he wouldn't die out there in the damn Georgia sun.
Okay, so besides Deshaun Watson, can you name a quarterback that they actually developed that got better from their freshman to their senior years?
That's Charlie Whitehurst. Charlie Whitehurst.
Who?
Go fuck yourself. Charlie Whitehurst.
Was Dabo even there?
Charlie, you're asking about Clemson quarterbacks that developed Charlie Whitehurst, sir. Please hang up the phone.
But was Dabo there?
Charlie Whitehurst made more money holding a clipboard than Tim Couch ever dreamed of having. So please hang up the phone.
Okay.
You're done, sir.
No,
Have a
was
good day.
Dabo there? Did Dabo develop him?
That doesn't matter. You said you didn't ask about Dabo developing him. And Dabo's got such a small sample size of quarterbacks. Taj Boyd was better from his freshman year to his senior year. All-time ACC leader in passing. Once again, go home, sir.
Taj Boyd was playing quarterback.
No, he was not a receiver playing quarterback. Are you out of your mind?
What?
Are you out of your damn mind? He's the
No, I'm
ACC's
not.
all-time
Ask the
leading
NFL if he was a
passer.
receiver playing quarterback.
He was
He
built
didn't
more like a defensive end.
He never played receiver, man. Never took a snap at receiver. Nice
Cole
try.
Stout got better from his senior year to his senior year.
Oh, Cole Stout.
You gonna hang up the phone now?
Oh,
Or
you
just gonna
guys were the
continue to
ones that
wallow in
had
this shirt?
you wanted to talk about the Kelly kid earlier. You guys had him before he went to JUCO.
Right. He beat up a Miss America contestant in the parking lot, and Dabo Sweeney had to tell him to go fuck himself. So
Didn't he supposedly but right before he got kicked out of the program, when he was in the football office or football center or whatever, the rumor was supposedly did he slap a cup of coffee out of Dabo's hand or something?
there's rumors about all kind of stuff, man, that he did.
I would have given him a fist bump for that.
God damn it. He did go to Ole Piss and win. We'll give him that.
Well, I mean, with the stuff that Deshaun Watson's accused of, I mean, that's kind of, beating up a prom queen's kind of light, isn't it?
Got a point.
You're saying, okay. I mean, where do you want me to go from there? Deshaun Watson, what he's been accused of is
it was kind of a one to paint you in the corner.
You're not painting me in a corner. I've said from the beginning, the stuff that Deshaun Watson's accused of is fucking insane. What is it, 76 massage therapists in 8 months? I mean, you got a problem. Seriously.
I have a hard time wrapping my head around. I mean, good God. I mean, how do you get around to that many massage therapists? And how are there even that many in one fucking area? I mean, my God.
That's why he was flying them in from. He was literally going on Instagram and just searching for massage therapists, finding the one that he liked as far as how they look, and then going and saying, hey, I'll fly you from Atlanta to Houston. Here you go. And the women would be like, okay. And then they'd get on the plane and then go out there. And it's like, wait a minute, an NFL player pays for you to go there. You probably should think, all right, maybe this is going to happen. But in the end, if the woman told him, "Nah, I'm not down for that," then fucking you shouldn't be doing that anyway.
Jack Mack says, who doesn't get a chubby during a massage? Me. Never had one.
You never had a massage?
No.
Why not?
I had one. I feel fucking all oily and shit afterwards. I don't even like it.
I did a couples massage with the wife. That was pretty good. What? The wife set it up. We went. It was great. You know what? We may buy if South Carolina wins 10 games.
Draw wood.
No, the wife's sitting there. It's nothing like that. What are you talking about?
It doesn't matter. I mean,
holy shit, y'all. If South Carolina wins 10 games, we should put money together to get Jackpot a massage.
There you go.
And I hope the guy looks like Dennis.
You'll be saving your money though.
Oh shit.
Yeah, 10 just seems unattainable for South Carolina.
Yeah, but
I mean, their schedule was brutal.
Everybody said they couldn't win 7 last year. Vegas had them at fucking 3.5 wins last year, and Shane Beamer shit on that.
Yeah, but that 10 win is just it's a very hard threshold to break. Just ask Tennessee. I mean, the hell they ain't did it since the Bush administration.
Tennessee's got a national title though, something Kentucky's never had. They've also got SEC titles. Kentucky doesn't have any of those either. So shh.
Oh, so did they do that before the invention of the iPhone or after?
You've never done it ever. Actually,
that's not true. History, we have one in 1956.
You don't have an SEC title, I don't believe.
We have a national championship and an SEC title.
Tulane has more SEC titles than you do. Hang up the phone.
I'm pretty sure we have a national championship in 1956. Now, that may be one like Alabama that claimed it, but
Let's
we have a
see
national championship in
here.
1950 something.
Didn't Bear Bryant win a national championship at Kentucky? I think.
Oh, you win one.
No, I don't think he did.
Hold on, I'm
I
looking
know-
it up right now
I know
because
he
I
got-
don't think Kentucky has an SEC football championship by team. Let me make sure here. Yeah, so
I know they.
all right, so I'm
But-
looking at it right now. This is actually you're right. Kentucky has 2. I apologize. You still don't have as many as Tulane
Yes.
or Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech has 5, by the way. Georgia Tech has 5
That's very
SEC
cool.
titles.
Georgia
So,
Tech
yeah.
should have kept running the option.
Kentucky had a title in 1950. I'm trying to find the year. Kentucky had one in 1950 and and in 1976 they split a title with Georgia, but we
That's
don't
right.
count.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and those titles are just as relevant as the one that Tennessee won in '98 or '99, where the fuck year was. So,
Sir, respectfully, since 1976, like Tennessee has what? As far as SEC titles, they've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, they've got 4 since you've
okay,
had your last
you-
one. So
What?
yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Do we need to go over that? Your last one was in 76.
No.
They won in 85.
So-
They won in 90. They won in 97, and they won in 98. They have 4 titles since
So
you
what
got
you
your
so
last
what you're
one,
telling
which was
me-
a split.
Yeah, that's very cool. What you're telling me is they haven't won a title at the titles.
Brother, you haven't won a title since like people were running around doing the disco demolition stuff, man.
Yep.
The bicentennial.
You should.
But
just hang up the
we're a
phone.
basketball school.
You are a basketball school, so why are you calling when we're starting football season?
Because we're a top 15 football team right now.
You're not a top.
Harry
Look at
Legg says Boss Ross had
Those are bullshit.
Georgia Tech headed in the right direction.
Look, Rodriguez
That's
is probably
true.
going to sit a bit, and y'all aren't going to be worth a fuck, man.
He's not sitting. I don't think he's going to sit.
Well, he should. You
I
shouldn't
think he
drink
may
like
sit.
that.
I think. Well, I agree with you.
He should go to AA meetings. That motherfucker was on the jackpot drinking plan, and he wasn't at home. Jackpot when he drank was at the house.
I bet you. Hey, you know what? When he was in that jail cell, he probably looked a lot like Jackpot in that Vandy game.
No, he didn't. He was drunk
Yeah,
on
he probably
tequila
looked
in a
just like
bourbon state. He was probably trying to fight somebody, thinking they took the worm or some shit.
I would like to. If we had like a sadness meter, I would like to test him in the jail cell and Jackpot when they were about to lose to Vandy and see which one was more upset. I'm going to go with Jackpot.
Why are you trying to kick Jackpot when he's down? What's wrong with you?
He's not down. They won.
He was down that day. He was upset.
I was very.
All right.
Yeah, that's a good time.
Frothy Tavern says you are Will Levis's fluffer. That's a good point. Hey, have a good
Will
night,
Levis
sir.
doesn't need a fluff. Will Levis doesn't need a
Yeah.
fluffer. He's hard all the time.
Oh Jesus! Fuck is that?
I just realized what he said. Jesus Christ.
That's some fuckery right there. All right. Final call for calls 803-470-2905. 803-470-2905. Frothy Tavern says Jackpot was comedic gold during UGA game last year, calling the chat fucking fucks repeatedly. I remember that. At least says he's given Jackpot a 4 on friendliness and a 5 on appearance. That goes to the Rockabilly channel, which you should be subscribed to, by the way.
Oh yeah, make sure you subscribe to Rockabilly 864. We put a new review on there tonight, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
Just finished uploading for the show. Rockabilly all night long. Rockabelly, sing your song tonight.
The Rockabilly food reviews are fucking outstanding, by the way. All right, let's take another call here. And welcome to the program. Good evening.
Yeah, this is Billy. How are you doing?
Hi, Billy. You're not going to yell at me tonight, are you?
No, sir. I'm
Okay,
sorry
good.
for doing that back then.
I'm
Again.
picking at you. But anyway, go ahead.
Hold on a second. No.
Are you
I'm
arguing with the
I'm just amazed that
wife like right when you called? And you're just telling her, "Hey, I'm not going to cuss out that poor sweet man from South Carolina like I did last time." Is that
that's
what's
what she
happening
just
here?
said.
She said, "Don't cuss
Hey,
out that poor sweet man right there. He is a nice guy, and I would
oh
let
yeah.
him come to the house and cut the grass."
Yeah. Hey, just back to Kentucky fan there, Bluegrass
Sure.
on his one natty in 1950.
Hmm.
Ask him to go check the Tennessee score. Bear Bryant at Kentucky never beat General Neyland. The year they won their natty, Tennessee shut them out.
Was you at that game? Being a smart ass, but
Yes, I was. I was
I'm
4 years old at the time. It was cold as hell too.
shit.
I can't believe he calls in and wants to talk crap. I mean, he's got an Alabama ego with the Vanderbilt trophy case in football. Jeepers.
I
Carnell
don't
Tate.
know.
So what? Tennessee's ranked 13th in 23 recruiting. That doesn't mean anything. And Kentucky's at 45. Woo woo. They were really signing them up. Who wants to play a field called Kroger Field?
Well, I heard that they have I heard that they have the Kroger sushi thing that like some people like that. I don't know.
Jeepers.
I don't know. I'm just being honest. I don't know. Hold on. I wanted to look at something really quick here while we got you because you mentioned that they're what 45th in recruiting for the 2023 set.
45th.
45th. So
they got 7 people.
yeah, but
I can't hear you.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. You can hear me now, right?
Right.
Okay. All right. Vanderbilt is ranked higher in the recruiting class than Kentucky.
I think so. Here, let me get over to it, and we'll run it down real quick.
I'm looking at it right now. Number 1 is Georgia, Arkansas 2, Tennessee 3, Alabama 4. This is in the conference, by the way. Florida at 5, Vanderbilt
I was looking
6.
national 24/7.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at. But I'm looking at just the SEC, and they're ranked 6th in the conference. So yeah, which means that they're. I mean, we can look at all of them. We can see exactly where. I mean, we know that Vanderbilt's ranked higher than they are. See how far we have to go down.
Go to 24/7. All the schools.
That's what I'm looking at right now. I'm looking at all the schools right now. Vanderbilt is ranked 42nd. Kentucky is 45th. I just report facts, sir.
Yeah, but like you say, it doesn't matter till the ink hits the paper and dries, and then
it actually doesn't matter until they get on the field and they realize there are athletes out here that are just as athletic as I am, and how they're able to play against the same level of talent instead of running over little boys, which is what they were doing at high school. So,
well, who gives them the star ratings anyway? I've never figured that out. How does that work?
I'm going to put that together and figure out exactly how some of this stuff goes, because there is a swing on some of these things. And I've noticed it with the way that I've covered South Carolina in the years, where if a player signs with South Carolina, for some reason, their star ratings change. They could have a 4-star guy.
There's something to that.
And all of a sudden they drop to being a 3-star just because they committed to South Carolina. I don't know what the hell changed in them. How were they a 4-star yesterday, and then 2 weeks later they're a 3-star? It doesn't make any damn sense. Oh, it's
I thought Bluegrass was going to call in and whine about Rodriguez getting disciplined worse than any other school.
Well, I think Jackpot said it best. Was it Jack? Did you say that, Jackpot? Don't drink tequila in a bourbon state.
Mm-hmm.
That's basically.
No, you said that. I just said he must have been.
Don't drive on,
Um,
and don't drive on campus.
Yeah,
And don't drive on campus.
That's a good point, man.
Hey,
all right, but
I can tell you one better than that. I'm going to tell you one better than that. I'm going to tell on
Sure.
Tennessee. I'm a Tennessee fan. I'm going to tell this.
All right.
About 15 years ago, 4 Tennessee players, and this is not a joke, this is true. They went and robbed the 7-Eleven right off the campus. I mean,
Okay.
right next to the campus. Now, what's bad about it is they had stockings on. This is a true story. They had stockings over their head, and they had their football jerseys on, but their names were on the back and their numbers.
Who did that?
What year was
Tennessee.
that, sir? Do you remember when that was?
I don't know. It was about 15, 20 years ago. Oh
Who did
yeah.
that?
It happened. Yes,
said
sir.
Tennessee
They sure
did
did.
that,
They
so-
not only did they rob a 7-Eleven, they robbed it right off the campus.
Who did that? The Tennessee.
But Tennessee players.
I thought
Keep
I heard.
They had their jerseys. They had their jerseys on with their name on the back. Dumbasses.
Okay, that's
How did that happen?
why do you have? I mean, so 4 dudes robbed the
They want to hear
7-Eleven.
that.
I mean, how much
You remember
money
Bernard
you
King,
really
right?
get
Bernard
out of
King,
that?
great basketball player. Y'all breaking up.
Yeah, no, we're good. Go ahead. I'm listening. Go ahead. It's you know.
But
it's
Bernard
just,
King got kicked off the basketball game. After a game, he got caught stealing cassette decks out of the cars in the parking lot.
What the fuck? All right. Well, I'm reading the story about this now. This is from 2009. Let's see.
Oh
here.
yeah, I told you it's true.
I know 3 players in a Tennessee suit were charged with 3 counts of attempted armed robbery and an incident at a Pilot gas station near campus. Nukese Richardson, Mike Edwards, and starting safety Jansen Jackson. Let's see here. We're gathering all the information. Blah blah blah. Let's see. They said they were approached by 2 men wearing black hoodies. They were sitting in a car. A man opened the door, brandished a handgun, said, "Give me everything you have. Give us everything you got." I could tell he wasn't going to shoot me. He didn't have too much authority, is what one says. The victim said they showed the men their empty wallets. We ain't got nothing but a cheeseburger, Smith said. Oh, you had more than one incident where you're robbing people. Okay.
I can't hear you.
Yeah, no, I'm looking at it. This is where, this is like right there near campus at a Pilot gas station. Now I'm looking, that's the one where they didn't get anything but a cheeseburger, is what it said. So hold on, let me see if I can find something else here. This is from 2009.
Well, Luke Bryant's also adding the information. He said they had pellet guns and they robbed the police with BB guns.
Well,
be a cop and get
was
robbed.
it on the interstate? Because Pilot gas stations are usually on interstate, not like I don't know.
Good point.
I'm thinking the incident was at a 7-Eleven next to the campus.
Yeah, I'm looking it up right now, but that's what we got. So, but it was during Lane Kiffin's time there, right?
Yep.
Oh no, it was a lot longer than this. It was way back.
2009 was the Lane Kiffin's year.
Yeah.
No, maybe not.
I don't blame him. I don't blame him for leaving. He went home. He went to his home, Los Angeles. I mean, Los Angeles or Knoxville. He went home.
I'd rather go to Knoxville.
Big deal.
I'm not going out there.
He was only there, what, 1 year?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's there with his dad, and they did okay. I mean, all these people that wanted to burn him in effigy and stuff. Geez,
then there was Lyle, right?
What's that?
Was Lyle was after him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dooley was before Kiffin.
Fuck, I forgot about. No, he was after. I forgot about his ass.
Yeah, I think Lyle's at Arkansas State, but he was a winner at
fucking out there too.
Yeah, well, Tennessee's had this Chucky Beaver guy they've got now. I mean, he's been better than anybody they've had in a long time. You got to give him credit for that. Even though
they have to leave him alone. If fans will leave him alone and let him be there for 4 years, just like Shane Beamer at South Carolina, Leave him there for 4 years.
I think
Give him a
South
chance.
Carolina fans are more patient than Tennessee fans. I'll put that out there.
I agree.
Yeah, we put up with Will Muschamp well. The administration put up with his shit way longer than I would have. He would have been fired in 2019.
If you can't win at Florida, what makes you think
He would have been fired by me
I'm not
actually
being
for not
funny.
scoring a fucking point against Virginia in the damn Belt Bowl.
Yeah, I remember that game, and it was like after that game was where he hung players out to dry in the press. Was just saying shit about who was the guy that ended up playing for the Chiefs. He basically just hung that guy out to dry.
Fenton.
Yeah, Rashad Fenton, who ended up playing for the Chiefs and made the Pro Bowl. So it's not like he was a bum. And he basically on his final game, he got hurt.
No, the bum was the guy giving the press conference.
Yeah, and he called him. He was talking about, he was railing the kid who was actually hurting the game. I'm like, and that's the last thing this kid's gonna have. He's you fucking shitting on him as he finishes out his senior year at South Carolina.
Well, what about him what about him defending that shitbag coach at Maryland that kid died?
DJ Durkin. He loved DJ Durkin. You couldn't question him about DJ Durkin. And it's like seeing like some people
There's no credibility in anonymous sources.
Right, but here's the thing with that. A young man died under his watch. And when you're responsible for the entire football program, if your conditioning coach runs a guy literally to death, then that's on you as a person too. So and Comrade used to get shitting with me about that. And I'm like, no. DJ Durkin's a shithead. Maryland even said, we are financially responsible for this. The president of the university. And then Will Muschamp, like 2 weeks later, is talking about, anonymous sources. No. The University of Maryland said they're financially responsible because of the idiotness that was DJ Durkin. That guy's a shithead. I mean, terrible.
All right. One more anecdotal story here since Carolina Jackpot mentioned Jalen Hurd when he was playing with Butch Jones, and he didn't go back in. Jalen Hurd. He only needed like 400 or 500 more yards to be Tennessee's all-time leading rusher. Now, who was his backup? This is a trivia question. His backup was no less than Alvin Kamara. Can you believe that? He had Alvin Kamara sitting on the bench.
I still think the weirdest backup story was at Florida, where Tim Tebow's backup was Cam Newton. It's like, fuck. And then Newton decided to steal a laptop. When the cops came, he threw it out of his dorm room and had to go to junior college. Threw it out the window like
there was
Superman.
There was more problems. He had academic problems, and he was fixed to meet the student advisory board, and they was fixed. Yeah,
Yeah, but Urban Meyer would have gotten him out of that. If he didn't throw the laptop and the cops saw it go flying like a damn Frisbee, he would have been able to stay.
I don't know. Jet Mex in here. Did you know there were over 40 arrests in Gainesville during Urban's time that we know of?
And no one gave a shit. They were winning national titles and doing the old cop block to beat South Carolina.
I don't know if the Rodriguez statue is up yet or not. I think they were still working on it.
It's harsh. All right, Billy. Have a great night, man.
Later. Good night, guys.
Right.
Great show.
Thank you, buddy. All right, Jackpot. We've had a good show, man. Let's wrap it up, buddy. It's late.
Oh yeah.
We'll be back at it on Sunday, and we'll have some more silliness that we'll get into here on the program. Thank you guys for checking out the show. We'll see you later on.